The NASCAR Craftsman truck race has officially concluded from Charlotte Motor Speedway, and what looked like was going to be a dominating win for Corey Heim turns into a lot of chaos, and Nick Sanchez seals the victory. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to your video. I just got done watching NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the NC Education Lighter 200. We had quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So for the green flag drop in today's race, Lawless Allen, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Christian Eckes, and Tyler Ankrum would all have to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. So at the start of the race, he had Tanner Gray lead the field from the inside with Corey Heim on the outside, and Tanner Gray got a fantastic start and was able to clear for the race lead. A few laps later, Corey Heim got a fantastic and great run on Tanner Gray, and he was able to pass Tanner Gray for the race lead on lap number 4. Meanwhile, Christian Eckes basically was complaining about he was losing voltage as he's moving his way up to the front, but he was not out of the race at that point. But what would not matter at the end is coming off the final corner, Corey Heim would win stage number 1. So during the caution, all the cars would then come down pit road. Stuart Friesen missed his pit box. Roger Kroof got drove into the grass and had to come back down pit road. Christian Eckes also changed the battery, and Tanner Gray won the race off of pit road. So then on the restart, Tanner Gray lead the field from the inside with Corey Heim on the outside, and Tanner Gray got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then a few laps later, Corey Heim and Tanner Gray started battling really hard for the race lead, and Tanner Gray lost the lead to Corey Heim as Corey Heim took the lead from Tanner Gray. He pulled out to a pretty big lead, and coming out the final corner, Corey Heim would win stage number 2. So then during the caution, all the cars would then come down pit road with Corey Heim winning the race off of pit road. Meanwhile, Caden Honeycutt, who was basically star of the show at this point, he had his fuel can come off of the car, or go on his truck, I should say, and get stuck and took it out of the pit road, meaning that he would be going to the tail end of the longest line. Also, Jake Garcia will get a penalty for being over the wall too soon. This would, at the time, take Caden Honeycutt out of contention. So then on the restart, you had Corey Heim lead the field from the inside with Tanner Gray on the outside, and Corey Heim got a great restart and was able to clear for the lead. Going into turn number 3, the first caution incident would take place. Tyler Ankrum got spun, it looked like to me, maybe from Brett Moffitt, I'm not entirely sure, but he got spun by Brett Moffitt, and he had nowhere to go, got to the bottom, spun out, and went back up into the racetrack, and Thad Moffitt unfortunately clipped him, and Keith McGee and Jeffrey Earnhardt had nowhere to go in the incident. Just a little bit of a mistake by Brett Moffitt, especially on a restart. You got to be a little more patient in that situation. It looked like maybe Lawless Allen was also involved in that wreck, but it also looked to me like Tyler Ankrum was a little loose there. Just an unfortunate situation. Replay was not very good. So during this caution, Caden Honeycutt, Jake Garcia, Mason Massey all came down pit road to top off of gas. So then also during the next couple laps, Nick Sanchez, Stephen Parsons, Christian Eckes, Connor Jones, Stuart Friesen, Timmy Hill all came down pit road. So then on the restart, you had Corey Heim lead the field from the inside with Tanner Gray on the outside, and Corey Heim got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, Matt Crafton coming to complete the first lap of the restart, he hit the outside wall, and then a few laps later, hit the outside wall again and unfortunately lost a tire, bringing the caution out. Just hit the outside wall really hard, and this would take him out of contention. So then during this caution, Chase Purdy, Mason Massey, Stephen Parsons, Stuart Friesen, Connor Jones, Spencer Boyd, and Christian Eckes all stayed out, while the rest leaders came down pit road. Corey Heim basically came off pit road lead, but he had basically a slow stop due to a jack. Lane Riggs and Brett Moffitt took a couple tires, and a lot of guys also took 4 tires as well. So then on the restart, Chase Purdy lead the field from the inside with Mason Massey on the outside, and Christian Eckes got a great restart and was able to clear for the lead. Meanwhile, Lane Riggs came back down pit road with some major trouble and issues on the restart. It went unfortunately go lap down. The Fox broadcast never mentioned that, but that took him out of contention. And then Lawless Allen also came down pit road to get with the flat tire. So then at this point, it became a little bit of fuel strategy. You have Christian Eckes and Chase Purdy who were trying to save enough gas and get to the finish line. Meanwhile, you had Corey Heim and Caden Honeycutt, who had arguably the 2 fastest trucks in this race. They were starting to charge up to the front. And we saw some really great battles for the lead between Chase Purdy and Christian Eckes for quite a bit. But everything would change with around 15 laps to go when Chase Purdy got in the outside wall and then went about a lap or two later, and unfortunately he had a flat tire, bringing out the caution of this race, the second to last yellow of the event. Chase Purdy hit the outside wall. This took him out of contention, was having a fantastic night, overran on top 5, top 10 all evening. It's such a shame right there. This sadly took him out of contention in this race. So then during this caution, you have to make a decision. Are you going to come down pit road, or are you going to stay out? Well, Christian Eckes, Seven Parsons, Roger Kruf, Ty Majeski, Ty Dillon, and Mason Maggio all came down pit road. Well, she stayed out while the rest leaders came down pit road. Kaden Honeycutt had a terrible pit stop and have to come back down pit road once again, taking him out of contention to win this race. Corey Heim also had a slow pit stop and lost a couple positions on pit road. I believe that the one that came off first was Nick Sanchez. So then on the restart, you have Christian Eckes lead the field from the inside with Seven Parsons on the outside, and Christian Eckes got a great restart and was able to clear for the lead. But Nick Sanchez got a fantastic run as well, and he was able to eventually pass Christian Eckes for the lead. And then eventually Corey Heim got up to second position. So at this point, it's going to be a duel between Nick Sanchez and Corey Heim for the victory. And then it came down to arrow games, unfortunately, at the end of this one. Corey Heim was desperately trying everything to get around Nick Sanchez. As it came to the white flag, Corey Heim tried to get a run to the inside of Nick Sanchez. He didn't have anything for him. And coming out the final corner, Nick Sanchez on the last lap holds off a hard-charging Corey Heim to pick up his second career Truck Series victory and his second win of 2024. It also picks up $50,000 that he can try to go and get another ton of money next week at Gateway. Nick Sanchez had a very solid truck, in my opinion. Was not the fastest truck by any stretch of imagination, but Nick Sanchez up front a lot of the evening, ran top 10 and top 15 most of the night and played the strategy correctly. Got 2 tires and 4 tires, was up front at the end and gets a well-deserved victory. He said coming in after he won Daytona that he wanted to win 10 races this year. This is win number 2 for him. He's officially locked in the playoffs. Congratulations, Nick Sanchez. It's a big deal because Chris Showalter's on that crew. He's been the truck chief and he's been around for every 700 starts. So congratulations to him on the win as well. Nonetheless, also congratulations to Nick Sanchez on picking up his second win of 2024. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the race results, and I'll give you my score and thoughts on today's race. So Nick Sanchez picks up the victory. Corey Heim finishes second. Corey Heim had no doubt the best truck all night long. His truck was so dominant through the first 2 stages, and I think only Kaden Honeycutt really had anything for him. But unfortunately, the pit crew cost him a shot at this win and victory. But second place is still a great run. But a tough break for Corey Heim, who easily had the best truck. He's my pick coming to race because of how strong he's been on the 1.5 miles. Still a great run for Corey, but unfortunately did not get the win that I think he truly deserved. Stuart Friesen finished third, was running about 15th to 20th most of the night, played some strategy at the end, and gets a really respectful top 5 finish. They're starting to build a little momentum. He got a top 10 last week in North Wilkesboro, and now he finished his third. Decent run, well, pretty good run for Stuart Friesen to finish in the top 5. Grant Enfinger finished his 4th, ran around 10th most in the evening, but they played the strategy at the end, and they get a respectful top 5 finish. Just starting to build a ton of momentum, and they've got a lot of points as well. Good day for Grant Enfinger in 4th. Matt Mills finished his 5th. Struggled early in the race, but they made that truck better, played the strategy, and gets a solid top 5. I think that's his first top 10 finish this season. I think Matt's got a lot of talent, but he's had a lot of bad luck this year. Good to see Matt Mills have luck go his way and finish in the top 5. Great run for him in 5th place. Ben Rose finished his 6th. That's only, I believe, his 3rd top 10 finish of the season. Ben Rose struggled most in the evening, ran around 13th and 15th most of the night, but he played the strategy like the other drivers and finished his 6th. Solid night for him. Jake Garcia finished 7th. Good run for him. I think that's only his first, second top 10 of the year, so good to see him have a solid performance tonight. Kaden Honeycutt finished his 8th. I think the star of the race. He had the only truck, in my opinion, that really anything for Corey Heim in this event. In fact, and before that caution came out for Chase Purdy, he had a faster truck than Corey Heim. It's a tough break for him. He's got a lot of talent. I know he made a mistake in practice, but it really didn't affect his truck because he did an absolutely amazing and great job tonight. I hope he's full-time next year because he deserves to be full-time. 8th place, really great night. Was really impressed with the performance that he showed in the race this evening. Connor Mosack finishes 9th. Decent night for him. Ran top 10 around that 9th, 10th place area most evening. Gets a 9th place. Solid run for him. And Dean Thompson finished 10th. I expected Dean to have a pretty good performance. He did pretty well tonight. He finishes in 10th. Christian Eckes finished 11th after the struggles he had today with the voltage issues. He led at the end, fell back at the end because of having old tires. They probably should have come down pit road. Still, considering everything that they went through, they had a solid night, all things considered. He finishes in 11th. Connor Jones finishes 12th. I think that's his best career finish in a truck series, so good to see him have a top 15. Taylor Gray finishes 13th. Chase Purdy comes back and finishes 14th. He had a really, really good night going, all things considered, but unfortunately got in the outside wall but recovered slightly to finish 14th. Brett Holmes finishes 15th. Decent run for him. Brian Moffitt finishes 16th. Expected more for him, to be honest. I expect him to be a lot quicker. Not a good night for him, all things considered. Raj Crew finished 17th. Man, before that caution, he was flying. I think they should have come down pit road. That cost them a shot at a win, in my opinion, because they were one of the few trucks that could also keep up with Corey Heim. And it was really good to see the speed he showed tonight. I expected him to be a threat. He had good speed. Unfortunately, because of old tires, it cost him a shot and opportunity at a great run. Tanner Gray finishes 18th, was really good early, had one of the best trucks in the field as well. Unfortunately, near the end, he got in the outside wall, and it cost him a shot at a great finish. Tough break for him. He finishes 18th. Mason Massey finished 19th. Daniel Dye, who ran top 6 or 7 a lot of the evening, he finished 20th. Spencer Boyd finished 21st. Jack Wood finished 22nd. Timmy Hill finished 23rd. Ty Majeski finished 24th. Ran around 8th tonight most of the evening. Unfortunately, did not get the finish I think he deserved. He finished 24th. Ty Dillon finished 25th. Had around a 15th-place truck all night. Still been struggling. Only has, I think, 1 or 2 top 10s so far this year. Again, Matt Benedetto, just remember, he had 11 or 12 top 10s before he was let go. Not been a great year for Ty Dillon so far. Seven Parsons finished 26th after being in the top 5 going into the final restart. He was having a really good night. Unfortunately, the old tires cost him a shot at a great finish. Bailey Curry finished 27th. Mason Mazio finished 28th. Lane Race, after his issues, finished 29th. Just another race where Lane Race got absolutely robbed of a good run because of some mechanical issues or some bad things that happened. It's been a tough year for him so far. He had a great run in Norfolk, bro. He was having a really good night. He was running around 6-7 most in the evening. Unfortunately, does not get the finish that I think he deserves. Memphis Villarreal finishes in 30th. Lost Allen finished 31st. Matt Cratton finished 32nd. Tyler Anker finished 33rd after crashing out. Thad Moss finished 34th. Keith McGee finished 35th. And Jeffrey Earnhardt finishes 36th and last place. So now, let's talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give my score and thoughts on tonight's race. Honestly, this race was pretty solid. The first half was a little stale in my opinion. Sure, you did have a lot of movers and comers and goers, especially drivers like Caden Honeycutt and Dean Thompson and Roger Kroof that were moving up through the field. The second half is where things got really interesting with the field strategy at the end, the really good battles between Chase Purdy and Christian Eckes, and Caden Honeycutt battling with Chase Purdy there. I thought that was really intriguing, really fun. You had a lot of comers and goers, drivers moving up through the field, like Corey Heim coming back from multiple issues and nearly coming back and winning the race. I thought the race tonight was pretty solid. Charlotte has been putting on some really good shows the last couple of years. I'm going to give tonight's Truck Series race overall an 8.5 out of 10. It wasn't spectacular by any stretch of imagination, but still pretty good. It was a fun race for me to watch. The Truck Series usually puts on a good show. They were slipping, sliding all over the place. I thought it was a good race. I'm giving this race an 8.5 out of 10. So, that is giving me tonight's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race review from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, and if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. Let's go just below that and comment your thoughts below on tonight's race. What are your thoughts on tonight's race? Let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And congratulate Nick Sanchez on picking up the victory. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the NASCAR Xfinity Series race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. See drivers like Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, Chase Elliott, Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Matt Benedetto, among other big-name drivers racing in that event. You're also going to see the poll reactions for the Coke 600. You'll also see a Shane Van Gisbergen video dropping as well. And we got a lot of great content dropping as it is Memorial Day weekend. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.